áudio é foda, né?
In a world where digital threats lurk around every corner, what's your plan to protect your business? Welcome to FnPodcast, the place where we make tech talk easy to understand. I'm Felipe, joined by my colleague Luis, and today we're diving into something every business owner should be thinking about: cyber insurance. It might not be as exciting as the latest tech gadgets, but trust me, it's just as important. Think of cyber insurance as a parachute for your business in the digital world. You hope you'll never need it, but if things go south, you'll be glad it's there. From small mishaps to major cyber catastrophes, we're covering the basics today. So whether you're a tech whiz or tech weary, stay tuned. This episode could be the difference between a cyber setback and a cyber disaster. Thank you. Come again, Lewis. We're here again on another podcast.
Episode 7. Wow, making it weekly and consistent. I like it.
Absolutely. We're here, the good and the bad for cyber. One thing cyber insurance requires pretty much a baseline to be insured. The good, something happens, like I mentioned, they're there. If something goes south, the baseline, which all organizations should already have implemented. The one thing to note about insurance is that your organization cybersecurity posture needs to constantly be overlooked. Somebody, an MSP, an IT guy, somebody, if you're that owner that's constantly on top of juggling both the tech part and the business, you got to make sure the patching is up to date, firmware, even your antivirus EDR updates, closing those ports on the firewall, etc. Otherwise, insurance companies are going to fight to cover that policy or that claim. We're seeing it now. That where ransomware, if that threat actor gets through, that one computer that didn't have AV or that patch wasn't didn't that computer didn't have the latest patch, they're denying claims. And the other alternative is basically, if they do pay out some type of claim, and there was negligence, the insurance company is going to go after somebody, whether that's the IT guy, the MSP, whoever it is. And we all know cyber or insurance companies don't like to lose. But nonetheless, to have it, a big benefit, we've seen it save multiple businesses from going out of business, basically.
Definitely. I think one example was back in 2022. We had a client that we actually obtained because they were breached and they had ransomware. And thankfully, their insurance company did do a partial payout, but they were actually a law firm. So they may have had an advantage in being able to fight the insurance company. Maybe a company that's not as legally inclined probably would have not gotten the payout. And that's because insurance companies are taking huge losses, and like any other insurance policy, insurances are there to make money, not necessarily to pay out. So there's been interesting trends. With that being said, insurance premiums, I'm sure you business owners listening in have seen that they've gone up, and that's because the risks continue to be there. It's not like the car insurance industry where cars are getting safer and safer. Maybe if you get a new car, you get a smaller premium,
with the exception of accidents.
exception of accidents. But we are kind of seeing that as well in cyber, actually, and that goes with organizations who, in this example, instead of getting a new car, they're getting a new cybersecurity posture in the sense of, hey, let's implement a cybersecurity framework. So maybe we should go for that ISO 127001. Sorry, I get that number always mixed up. Certification, or SOC 2 compliance, PCI, basically adopting
Or
a
CMMC, exactly. Some type
Exactly.
of framework.
adopting a framework to show that, hey, I have a new car or a new security posture that shows that I'm reducing my risk. So how can you, the cyber insurance provider, and my cybersecurity team, all of us come together in a cross-discipline way to show we're effectively reducing risk and basically reduce our premiums but still get our coverage. So we're seeing that more in like the bigger organizations that can really afford these teams, but small organizations can also take advantage of that by positioning themselves correctly. Felipe, I don't know if you
Well,
want to talk on some of
one
those
thing
things.
we do get a lot is when we do talk about cyber insurance policies, etc., to our customers and prospects is, why do I need cyber if I already have an IT company that's providing cyber security, or a cybersecurity company that's providing these tools and protecting, you know, one thing to note is there's no foolproof system. Anyone that says that they can protect that organization 100%, I'd be eerie and just kind of question their practice, et cetera, because it will happen. It's just, how, reducing the risk. You reduce the risk by implementing a better cybersecurity posture, trying to implement these tools. Um, you basically have peace of mind, so to speak, at night. So the landscape is always changing, and keeping up, especially as AI continues to evolve, it gets harder to protect these organizations. So, that's why when we go for the assessments and stuff like that, we're pretty clear up front, like, hey, your organization is just not up to par, to standard. So, in some cases it becomes, either a headache, or, it becomes expensive, right? So, and then, companies, organizations are just cost conscious, and then that becomes a kind of domino effect. Um, so paying, it's not a foolproof system. So, you pay insurance for your house, you pay insurance for vehicles, like, such as Lewis explained. Um, but you're not exactly putting in claims every month, so you're paying in the event something does happen. Same thing with cyber insurance. You're paying in the event there is a breach. You're protecting your assets, you're protecting your business. That business provides for you and your family and other families as well. Something to think about.
Yeah, definitely. And just to reemphasize, a lot of the premiums that we're seeing increase in the market is nothing new, and it's going to keep happening. I'm going to just take a moment here to share um, some statistics here from my PDF here, where basically this is a little outdated at this point, but the trend is still there. This comes from Government Accountability Office. So these are government statistics that show as early as 2017, when when cyber insurance was kind of being brought up on day-to-day conversations for most bigger businesses.
Gain traction.
It was gaining traction, and then with the explosion of the pandemic, remote work, basically we saw this grow, which makes sense because that was a huge risk factor. All these organizations just said, hey, let's open up our firewalls, let's open up our access, we need to get production going.
Accessing data from a decentralized,
Right.
efforts, does drive the risk even higher.
Huge,
And
huge.
without the proper tools, I mean, imagine companies that didn't have VPN set up, and the tools to access, one, to properly access it, and not only accessing it, protecting it.
And as providers, we lived that pandemic transition from office to work from home. A lot of organizations now all have some type of hybrid work policy. We've had to adopt a lot of perimeter based solutions like privileged access management, using, in our case, Microsoft 365 for most of that, the Entra portion of things there. But this trend overall with cyber insurance is very volatile, because technology is volatile, and what we're seeing is the best way to control these premiums is to adopt a cybersecurity framework. So a lot of times we recommend customers follow NIST frameworks if possible, if they don't have a sector or industry related framework, such as PCI or anything of that nature. But essentially, this is something that's going to keep on going. It might not be as critical for some businesses as others, but the trend is steadily increasing that everyone is getting some premium increase. And if you as a business owner want to kind of control that and have some better predictability, then I would start looking into frameworks, cybersecurity frameworks that you can adopt in your organization, so that you have something to come and bat with the insurance companies and say, hey, wait, why are you increasing these premiums? I'm effectively ISO certified. I'm effectively SOC 2. Look, I had an auditor say that we are clear on this. Why are you increasing my premiums? I'm controlling these risks here. Oh, you know what? You're right. This was just what we're doing, standard policy for everyone. Let me look. Oh yeah, we do have an exception. If you're SOC 2, we'll reduce your premium by another 30% this year. And it's going to be a back and forth. But if you come prepared with a framework as a business owner, you'll most likely be able to negotiate on those premiums. And that's I think the takeaway.
One thing to note as well is that this is something that's going to, right now it's not mandated, but at some point it will be mandated. So, just get your ducks in a row and start preparing for that. But at minimum, implement some type of baseline so you don't get hacked. We have another article there that we can probably add to this podcast, so you can get some 5 tips, the quickest 5 tips to implement to safeguard your business.
Perfect.
Okay, and that brings us to the end of our cyber journey today. We've navigated the essentials of cyber insurance, a critical yet often overlooked aspect of running a modern business. I'm Felipe alongside Luis. We've been your guides today on FnPodcast. Remember, in the digital world, being prepared isn't just about having the latest technology, it's also about safeguarding against the unexpected. Cyber insurance isn't just a policy, it's peace of mind in an unpredictable online landscape. We hope today's chat has shed some light on why it's a crucial part of your business safety net. If you found this episode helpful, share it with a friend or a fellow business owner. It might just be the information they need. And as always, we'd love to hear your thoughts, experiences, or any questions that you might have on cyber insurance. Drop us a comment or send us a message. Until next time, stay safe, stay informed, and keep tuning into FnPodcast. Goodbye for now.
See you guys. Bye.